Star Wars Heroes for a New Hope is published by Marvel Comics. It has 3 miniseries which features Princess Leia, Lando, and Chewbacca. The series I'm going to be focusing on and analyzing is the smooth administrator of Cloud City himself, Lando Calrissian. Lando was written by Charles Soule with art by Alex Maleev. He has a page count of 113 pages. Something to note about this story, I'm not entirely sure when this takes place. I read that it takes place after Empire Strikes Back, but it's not really clear on when this takes place in the Star Wars timeline. Feel free to let me know in the comments below. Story follows obviously, it's in the title. Come on. The story follows Lando as he tries to settle his debts. He recruits the help of his good friend Lobot, a Ugnaught professor by the name of Sava Korin, and 2 alien species that I'm unaware of, but they're simply known as the Twins. The 5 perform a heist to steal a pleasure cruiser, which is filled with treasure. Little do they know that it's actually owned by Emperor Palpatine. Wait, back up. Palpatine. You have a cruiser full of Sith treasure, and the best name you could name it is a pleasure cruiser. A pleasure cruiser. Really? Really? So the band of misfits successfully steal the pleasure cruiser and escape an Imperial blockade. Lord Sidious is infuriated by this, so he hires a bounty hunter by the name of Shanath Shah? I don't know, that, to track down Lando and his crew and recover the artifacts, or just destroy the vessel in general. But it just so happens, by complete coincidence, that this bounty hunter happens to know Lando. Go figure. Because the artifacts on board were Sith artifacts, it caused the twins to betray Lando and try to kill him. This made for some of the best conflict in this run that I've seen. If it's the only conflict, let's be honest. Seriously, I'm actually more interested in the twins and what their story is rather than following Lando. I'd rather follow these two. These two are really, really cool. Just look at some of these panels. The way they fight, the way they move, the way they're so silent up until the end. It's just really cool. Oh yeah, and the Ugnaught died, but the Ugnaught was very forgettable. I didn't really care about him, or apparently her. Didn't care about her that much. So that just leaves Lando, Shatamptha, and Lobot to escape. The 3 escape, but at a cost. Lobot sacrificed his mind because of his cybernetic implants to save the team. Unfortunately, Lando has lost a friend. And weirdly, that's how it ends. It felt very anticlimactic. I feel they could have done a lot better with the ending. Because I don't know what's going to happen next, and this came out a couple years ago, so it's clear they're not going to make any more. So it just, I don't know. It felt very anticlimactic to me. For the most part, this story does read like a mini-comic. There are times where, I'm following it pretty easily, but then there are some times where it transitions, immediately somewhere else, and you want to know what happened on that previous page, but you don't get that closure. So, it's a yes and no. It does read like a mini-comic, at the same time, though, it doesn't. The panel-to-panel transitions, though, those are done really well. I was able to follow those really, really easily. I was never lost when reading from panel to panel. The 3-arc structure for the individual issues were actually done really well. I'm not quite sure what the 3-act structure numbers are for the graphic novels, but for the 5 issues that I read, they were done pretty well. One thing I noticed about the page numbers for each act break was they ended in the same number. For instance, Act 1 ended on page 5. Act 2 ended in a number with a 7, for issue 1 it ended on 17, issue 2 37, issue 3 57, etc, etc. Then same with the Act 3. For issue 1 it ended on 20, issue 2 ended on 40, issue 3 60, and it went up to 100. Lando's biggest drawback, though, the comic, not the character, is the fact he didn't have a character arc. Nothing really changed with him. I mean, sure, he took a blaster out and shot someone, but he even revealed that he kept that a secret, and he didn't want anyone to know that was his trump card. So, it didn't feel right. Nothing changed with him. And I wish there was some more character development with him. Lobot was, I don't know, he was kind of whiny. Same with the Ugnaught. The twins are cool, but they weren't there very much, so it was kind of disappointing. There was no character arc. So I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but Lando's not my favorite character. I mean, I like him, he's cool and all, but he's not something I would want to invest a lot of my time into. So it's hard for me to actually recommend this to anyone. I mean, if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan like I am, then yeah, check it out. But I think this was mainly meant for the Lando fans, people who really love the Lando character. So for people like me who don't like his character very much, I can't really recommend this. But if you love Lando and you love how he swindles people and gets his way out of things, then yeah, I guess check it out. If it's at a library, then borrow it. But I wouldn't recommend buying it. I don't feel it's worth your money or your time. And that's all I have for Lando. That was my analysis. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, comment. It really helps me out. If you want to see me do more of these comic analysis, then please let me know. I'd be happy to do them if I can. With that said, thank you for watching, and game on!